I don't know. Anyway, but no, what I'm saying is, so the reason why I mention SNL is because um, I'm not sure if it was really like that back then, but certainly now it is just like it's hardly comedy. It's like all politics, literally all politics. In fact, they've turned a whole segment into the show, a segment of the show into, you know, mock news show like a la, Stewart and Colbert, basically. Like, okay, do we need more of this on TV? Because you already have Stewart and Colbert. Well, not Stewart anymore. You have whatever the hell the guy's name is. Um. Anyway, no, she was not. Don't know how to describe her. Don't want to denigrate her per se on stream, but I did fuck her up. It was my mistake later on. But again, it was because I made the mistake of getting together with her in the first place. Should not have done that. That was what the fuck? I don't know. I was 17. What was I supposed to do? 16, I guess. No, I just broke up with her, and I did. I mean, yeah, I cheated on her, I suppose you could call it. It doesn't seem really like I did that now. I definitely did, but I guess I just think back now about relationships in high school, and it's so much more trivial that it's different to me than if I was to cheat on a girl now, or if I was to be cheated on now, or like when I was cheated on later, which maybe I deserved as karma. I'm willing to take that, but I didn't really do anything super severe, and I would, yeah, well, I didn't fucking. I don't know. I'm not sure how you. It was a no-brainer though. I would not change anything I did, except that I would have been a lot more straight up with her, and I just would have said, look, this was a mistake. I can't. We're not doing this anymore. Instead, I think I did value her as a friend. I think I just confused her, and to her, she would now look back and call me an abuser, which is kind of, I would say neither here nor there. Not because I physically abused her, obviously, but because as a confused teenager who didn't know what I wanted, I gave her mixed messages, which she would, now in retrospect regard as gaslighting, which is not true. I was not trying to gaslight anybody, but I was 17 and not attracted to this girl, and also she lived in Chicago, and I had no intention of staying with her long term. I didn't think that explicitly, but I think back now and I go, okay, what was your plan? So, nowadays you think about it, if you want to be with somebody, you usually have, you immediately start to think of something, okay, how are we going to be together? If we want to be together, well, we have to be together. So I think back now and I'm like, okay, well, you weren't actively making any plan. You were about to go to school at Michigan State. She was going to the Art Institute of Chicago. So unless you were going to actively try and spend time with her or meet her in the middle or, make some plan to be together after school or something like that, none of that was happening. So, okay, it means that you're not interested. I didn't recognize that at the time. She's not making any money being a victim, that's for sure. It just makes her feel better. And afterwards, a few years after that, actually, no, it wasn't a few years. It was actually after, it was a number of years after that, because that happened in our senior year of high school, which was 2009. And then, well, some things happened after that, which later things I'll take full responsibility for. That was just me being kind of stupid. But after we both graduated college, she moved to Canada with some other guy that she met on the internet, and just me being fucked up stalking her Twitter for many years afterwards. Because she blocked me on Facebook, but she didn't block me on Twitter at first. Now she did, but that's okay. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I know from reading her Twitter that she, had some grand victimhood narrative regarding that situation too. She lived with him in Canada for like over a year. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling this story. Why am I talking about this? We were talking about Harvest Moon originally. That's right. She was one of my original Harvest Mooner buddies. Anyway, in that case, maybe he was an abuser. I don't know. Never met him. I find it unlikely. Because of the way that she is, but. Unlikely, not impossible, but unlikely. You know, this blanket way of describing abuse is just very, I think it's just unhelpful, obviously. You know, you want to be respectful to, you know, your significant other, anybody who you're close with, you know. And there are times, certainly, where you deflect, kind of subconsciously, trying to avoid fault for a certain situation or something that you did or something like that. So I definitely did that, but I wasn't actively trying to gaslight her. I was just a, you know, confused teenager who didn't want to hurt her feelings. Didn't really want to lose her as a friend, even though obviously I look back now and I examine our friendship. I don't see as much there as, you know, I saw then. So that's part of it too. I got 4. Let me just keep my count. I mean, she was a good friend at that time, and I wasn't like some kind of, you know, super deep guy that needed something more. It's like, no, we were just both teenagers. We were just. I think so too. You know, I don't think like, obviously people need to be held responsible for like real gross abuse, especially if it's physical. But the way that psychological abuse is described now, or the way that it's characterized now or defined, goddamn, I mean, it could. My friend's wife now could probably be called an abuser of some kind, right? Because she's a nagging bitch, from what it seems like. And, you know, blames things on him that are not his fault. Okay, well, sounds exactly like, you know. And obviously, generally, this applied the other way, but, you know. That's not the same girl, but what you're talking about. I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong. Obviously, there's a difference between saying that, you know, I'm not a serial abuser and saying that I did nothing wrong. I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just saying I'm not a fucking serial abuser. Should I grab the flower first? Keep doing this in the wrong order. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's actually not a lot of time. I think that 4, right? And this is day 3. No, yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, especially if there's no children involved. We live in the 21st century. If you're a woman, you have all the same economic opportunity as a man. So you can literally get out there and, you know, if he's actually a psychopath who's gonna chase you down and try and hurt you, you literally just call the police. You get a restraining order. It's remarkably easy for a girl to get a restraining order. Just saying, very fucking easy. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. That's just if that's a tool that you have at your disposal. Why are we talking about domestic abuse now? God damn it. Jack would never abuse his wife. I mean, waifu. Anyways, yeah, I still feel bad for the... I should still feel bad for that girl. I feel bad for, you know, the way that some of the things I did. It was over 10 years ago. So, anyway, I think that she's... The reason why I still think about it is because based on Twitter, I can tell that she's still... Sunday... No. Monday... I actually should have slept till Wednesday, because now I bet I don't get 3. I don't need 3. Yeah, crazy, but not like that. Yeah, Twitter. No, it's for real. Yeah, Twitter is literally... Twitter should not exist. It is a proper hellhole. Just please give me 3. Come on, it shouldn't be that hard. Good. Okay. And I said this is Tuesday. On Twitter? Well, I actually haven't been on Twitter for like a month, which is nice. I actually think I'm never gonna go back. It's actually just kind of incidental that I didn't get on Twitter. I guess I didn't like consciously not go on it. I just didn't. And then the longer I wasn't on Twitter, the less I thought about it. And then until now, like I actually haven't thought about going on Twitter at all. So I don't think I'm gonna go back. Yeah, you can definitely clear that path. 12:05, so that's 12:20. Anyway, but yeah, so she's definitely still miserable due to the whole SJW thing, kind of just yeah, it's weird. I like my speed internet buddies better than those people. I suppose it's all time and place. You know, that was a certain time in my life, and this is a certain time in my life as well. This will pass as well, but Wednesday. Hang on, I'll click on that after I reset this run in 5 minutes. Dude, can you stand still? I actually do not know. Should have 2 more. Yeah, okay, I'm counting correctly now. I'm getting lazier with the count because I'm trying to do it in my head, but then I make mistakes like I did on the last run. Friday. Friday the 10th, right? Okay, so I'm literally done with gifting. Friday the 10th, which means I need to sleep until... Normally I would get my last gift if I got pushed to the very last possible day on the 14th. So I want to sleep until the 15th right now. And then I can go 1, 2, 3 until the... Actually, I just want to sleep once, I guess. Oh, then it's fake, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, it's better to do it this way because then I know. One, two, three. I guess what I like about Harvest Moon is that it, you know, my mom went kind of like overboard when I was a kid. Like, she's just in general, she hates like guns and shooting and violence and, you know, so like when we would play video games, when my parents would get me video games when I was a kid, my dad liked to play like Doom and Quake, but my mom hated that shit, so she didn't want me around. She didn't want me to play those kinds of games. Certainly not when I was a young kid, and I think that's fair. But you know, even when I was into my teenage years, I guess I don't know. I naturally don't really like that kind of stuff as much anyway. I don't like horror movies. I don't like gore very much. So to me, Harvest Moon just kind of showed that, you know, you can create a really pleasant playing experience through just, you know, simple, repetitious but rewarding gameplay and charm. And the rest of it is just like good music, you know, nice to look at, you know, nice art. Literally can't get it. Cannot fucking get it, dude. This is not a PB. Literally cannot get it, dude. I just needed rain on this day. Got rain yesterday, can't get rain today. I've gotten now I think 6 runs with 1 of the 2 days of rain. And none with both. I don't think this PB is even if I... Because my PB had 1 day of rain as well, not 2. I just can't. So... I would stop grinding, but Record already has perfect luck, so I need to beat it. Which means I need to get, you know, perfect luck. And I can save, like, at least 30 seconds to execution over Record. So. Because it's such a stupid premise if you think, not stupid, but it's just like a, what, you want to make a farming game. It's so interesting. Like I can see them easily going through with the first Harvest Moon game, and you know, because it's kind of a unique idea. And there was a lot of content in the original Harvest Moon for a SNES game, you know, for being the first game in the series. But But the fact that they went on to produce so many Harvest Moon games, I mean, we're talking a lot of Harvest Moon. There's actually a ton of Harvest Moon games. A lot of them are very similar to each other, of course. But there's a fair number of outliers, just sort of unique. They tend to try and spice up the formula a pretty considerable amount, especially amongst the early titles. You know, they were definitely experimenting. But it's interesting to me that they produce so many. Okay, actually I can PB. Just barely. Might as well finish it, I guess. Actually, I really might as well not, because I might as well just get in another reset right now while I can, but it's getting really annoying. I'm going to start keeping count now. I'm going to just call it 10. I think I've done 10 runs. I think I've gotten 10 runs to that point now, at least. I've done more, but we'll be conservative in our estimates. So we'll say we've done 10 so far. How the fuck is cyberbullying real? Ha 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 ha, nigga. Yeah, I think I've seen this. yeah, cyberbullying. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Dude, stop! Wow. Okay, I'm PBing by like probably 3 seconds, literally. Not even a joke. Mild Season just such a cruel mistress. I need to figure out what the actual odds are to rain, because right now I'm going completely blind. It's not going to change what strats you do. Well, it might in some cases. It's not going to change what strats you do here. You can't really change you know, how it's written, but okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna go pee and get a drink, and I'll be right back. Oh, is this even a PB? I don't think it is. Yeah. Some of my movement execution I've changed in that run, and it does. No, well, this is actually a grind to save like over a minute. It's just that in order to save that minute, you literally just need rain on a particular day. And so I've been grinding to get to the end of the run. Yeah, this is a PB by a few seconds because I didn't get the right luck in this run. So